Dashboard creation. Okay, up to this point, we've created two different tabs. Sheet number 1 contains production information that we've made. Sheet number 2 contains some new measures that we made involving shipment and import-export information. In this chapter, what we're going to cover is how to use several pieces of functionality inside of this tool to make your own dashboard. That way, when you come back to your reports every time there's a new steel release, really all you're going to have to do is use the export button to get the views that you want. Okay, so let's hop over to the production tab. We'll start with that information. A few basics as far as replicating objects so we can make our dashboard. Every single object has a menu in the upper left. So if I click this menu here in the upper left of this table, you can see several choices. The detail settings choice, this would allow me to change the name of the table. So we'll just change this to say prod table, just as an example. You can also change this expand members choice to allow you to expand any level. That's kind of a nice default to go switch off and change this to enable for each level. The reason you'd want to do that is in case you have several levels and you want to be able to expand down to the lowest level of granularity. In this case, we only have one level, so it's okay if it were turned off, but we'll just leave it turned on like that for now. Okay, also in this menu in the upper left of each object is a choice to use move or copy. So let's make a copy of this table into a brand new sheet, and we can start building out our dashboard. You can see in this case it's filtering on Pennsylvania and some of those northeastern states. What we could do here, now that this has been moved into a new tab, it's not talking to the filter that I used before. We can use this drop down to clear the filter. I'm looking at all the states, and let's just make a couple state examples here, reusing this table a couple times. Okay, so number 1, the way to reuse a table. If you just find you're looking at an object, you want to make a quick replicate of it inside of a tab, all you have to do is hold down the control key. So I'm actually on my end now. I'm holding down the control key. I grab the title bar of the object. So basically what I've done is I picked up this object now, still holding down the control key, and then drop it into a new location. So I'm going to drop it next to this previous object, let go of both keys, and now I have an identical copy. Okay, so at this point I could make further filter choices so that I get a closer to a dashboard that I would want to just come in and export every time there was a new load of the data. So to do that, click the drop down next to the names you want to filter. So I'm going to click the drop down next to state group. I'm going to set this one to be a certain state. Let's go with Pennsylvania on the left. All right, let's turn off the totals. So I'm going to right click in that table, use this display total. And then here on the right, let's switch this state to be a different selection, just for the sake of a sort of a nice dashboard. So far my dashboard contains 2 tables. Let's make some charts with that as well. I'm going to turn off the totals here in these tables. In fact, let's do one more. It looks like I got room. I'm going to do one more and switch this state group to this set of states. Okay, good. Now if I want to kind of round out my dashboard, let's make a few charts. I'm going to right click here in the table and use create chart. Create them underneath. Made my 3 charts, and since I have them following underneath the table and you can see from the table which states you happen to be looking at, I'm going to go ahead and just X out these legends. You of course could go into these individuals and change the names as well to match which state it was showing. Okay, a few more choices here that round out this example. Let's go ahead and say that you get to a point where you're making pretty dynamic reports and you want to do a few extra pieces of nice functionality to firm up the quality of the report. Number one thing that you can do here is in the upper left corner of chart objects, you can use the detail settings to do things such as turn on the numbers so that they show up on the chart itself. Makes for a more readable chart. I've kind of cluttered this one, so I'm going to go ahead and close this example here on the right. We'll only keep 2 of them. Stick with that. And another thing that you might want to do as you do more dashboard type selections like this is you can actually cross tabs. If you want filters from previous tabs to talk to objects in other tabs, that is certainly possible. So for example, let's go ahead and change the name of this table here to be prod table number 1. And then hop back to the filter in sheet 1. Under the detail settings of that filter is a choice to have exactly which parts of the report it's talking to. So we'll go here with specific parts and make it talk to this prod table number 1. We'll go back to this other sheet, clear out the filter example, and you can see now it's showing the selections that I made on that first tab. So crossing filters from one tab to another is certainly an option. I'm going to go ahead and hit save on this. And basically what I've achieved at this point is a dashboard that I can come back to whenever there's a new data release, and if I want to just take that to my machine, I can use this export choice. And what you'll get is a compiled set of tabs that match your report. They'll send also the tables and the images you created so that you can take those images, maybe drop them in an email or a presentation or something like that.